his young life, he's made this walk onto the court as a Masters 1000 finalist. Championship point.
أعرف أن هذه إحدى أفضل البطولات التي لعبتها في مسيرتي الآن.
لقد فوجئت نوعا ما، لكني كنت أؤمن بقدراته لأني كنت أعلم أنه قادر على هزيمة اللاعبين الكبار مهما كانت الأرضية. فالفوز بلقب البطولة الماسترز من 1000 نقطة هناك حاجة إلى هزيمة العديد من اللاعبين الممتازين خلال أسبوع واحد، وبالتالي فهو إنجاز كبير جدا.
إلى مرمانا كرة تضربنا للمرة الثانية، النتيجة 2-0. التقدم غيني، الهدف الثاني عن طريق ديمبا كامارا، أبو بكر ديمبا كامارا
بين العشرة الأوائل.
يبدو أن ريحا قوية تهب على تنس الرجال، وفي مقدمتها اللاعب الألماني ساشا زفريف، إنه موهبة مبكرة بعد أن أحرز لقب بطولة للماسترز ب1000 نقطة. ومن بين إنجازاته الأخرى هذا الموسم فوزه في بطولة ميونخ.
إن الفوز باللقب كان مذهلا بشكل كبير. كانت تلك أول مرة أراه فيها متأثرا بذلك الشكل. إنه لا يعرف دلالة ذلك الإنجاز بالنسبة لي، أن أفوز بأول لقب لي في ألمانيا. لقد كان حاضرا يدعمني طوال الوقت ويعيش معي حلمي لحظة بلحظة. من الرائع دائما أن أرى شخصا مثله يتصل بي ويصل إلى هذه الدرجة من التأثر.
إلى جانب الشبكة الأسرية، فإن السر في نجاح ساشا هو الموضة القديمة المتمثلة في العمل الجاد.
في الفترة الفاصلة بين الموسمين قمت بتدريبات بدنية شاقة. حاولت أن أحسن ضربة الإرسال لدي والضربة الأمامية والخلفية وكل تلك الضربات، غير أن الجانب البدني كان من أكثر الأمور صعوبة.
يتمتع زفريف بتأسيس متين جدا. إلى أي مدى يمكنه أن يزداد قوة وبأي سرعة وأي أثر سيكون لذلك. إنه منذ الآن قادر على التنافس بقوة ويمتلك مهارات رائعة، وهو قادر على هزيمة أي لاعب، كما أنه قادر على الأداء الجيد في جميع أرضيات الملعب. وهو اللاعب الذي أؤمن حقا بقدرته على أن يصبح المصنف الأول عالميا وعلى الفوز بالعديد من ألقاب البطولات الكبرى في الجولة العالمية.
إن فريق عمل زفريف يبدو متفانيا وحريصا على أن يحقق ساشا ما تؤهله له إمكاناته.
فريقي حاليا بصدد التوسع، فقد انضم إلينا مؤخرا هوغو الذي كان ضمن أخصائي العلاج الطبيعي في رابطة اللاعبين المحترفين لمدة 12 عاما، وقبلها ببضع سنوات انضم إلينا جاز. هناك الكثير من الأمور تجتمع بشكل صحيح. فريقي ممتاز، ومن الواضح بأن الجميع متفاهمون بشكل جيد، يستمعون إلى بعضهم البعض ويحترمون بعضهم بعضا. وإذا أراد أحد أن ينفذ شيئا في مصلحة الفريق
getting introduced to some of the dignitaries that are down at pitch side. And I think we are just about ready to get those national anthems. Oh, I think we are. So let's have a quick word with. Let's have a look at the table then. Nigeria head that group 6 points in 2 games. Cameroon 4 behind after 2 draws. Zambia and Algeria on a point each. 12 points left to play for. And it'll all be wrapped up on November the 6th with the group winner qualifying for next summer's finals, and that is it. No second place, just the winner. But what a year of contrast so it's been for these two nations, with Cameroon winning AFCON.
Result. of match number 27. The Tridents through Dwayne Smith's 195 for 4. And the Stars, even with Cornwall's 78, fell short by 29 runs.
Crucial victory for the Tridents. It means they go from 4 points to 6 points. They're closing in on the Amazon Warriors. The weekend here is going to be so important.
This is how we play the game. This is how we play. And we represent and show them who we stand for. So get up and unite for your team. We'll give the best we've got. That's how we play. Every pitch, every part, every day, every wicket, every slow. And the heart and soul and passion, and the culture, Caribbean blood. When people come out all nation. When the stadium run, reach at the grandstand, and the million and music, it's how we play.
Barbados Tourism sponsors Heroes CPL on BT Sport.
Played a few league matches, almost all of them, so they should be feeling really good about themselves. And we know, I think, you know.
الأسبوع الثالث من الدوري الألماني
بأقل مجهود.
أفريقية المؤهلة لكأس العالم.
Go.
Cuadrado.
Something has happened to the.
Catastrophique de Dallas Keuchel qui ne nous a pas du tout habitués à ça. Non. Alors c'est vrai que tout à l'heure il
انت مرك او مسلك ساكت او نفسك تعلق لك في الكوره او في الصوره يجمعكم ليز. الجمعه احلى مع ليز.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة من الله تعالى وبركاته. أحبتي الأكارم، يوم عرفة متقبل لكل الأمة الإسلامية ولمن صام في هذا اليوم. تقبل الله منا ومنكم أفضل الأعمال إن شاء الله.
China means he is being rewarded with a place in the starting lineup, but both of these nations have got questions to answer as far as their media and fans are concerned about the number of goals that are potentially in these teams. As for Cameroon here, virtually the team we expected, a couple of minor alterations. Liuka replaces Mabuka at right back. Nagamaleo is in for the Zoom in midfield. Those the only two changes from the team who were beaten by Germany.
Superstar making his 300th Premier Class start, and a man who has redefined motorcycle racing. Wild but brilliant, Marc Marquez bucking and weaving his way around this historic circuit. Welcome to Silverstone.
We are absolutely
takes to win. A lot of talk, effort about the venue that they're playing in. And some people say, listen, it's about time we got out of here because results haven't been good here.
Yes, you know, there can be that little bit of superstition and fear. Have to find a way through that, have to fight through it, you know, overcome their insecurities, if you like. And if you feel like you've got, you know, good enough players against your opposition, you know, it's a matchup, and then I think those superstitions hold too much. You know, once you win a few games, and then, you know, people will forget what's gone on in the past.
He did give reasons, actually, for picking this particular venue here, which is the venue of choice now. One is because he said the playing surface here is the best in Nigeria. Quite simple. It looks as if it's cutting up a bit from what we can see here.
Yeah, we've had some rain as well.
Yeah, which is also going to just affect things. Hugo Bruce, who came out of nowhere, took this job when he saw it advertised on the internet, decided to actually go online and apply. He did. And a nation is forever grateful that he took the time. Just imagine if he'd gone out for a Starbucks in the afternoon before he flew out and missed it.
That's called fate, isn't it, Tim? One thing I will say about, you know, playing football at the stadium, you know, there's a great atmosphere that's generated. Games at the National Stadium in Abuja, you know, can be a little bit soulless as well. If the team's not playing well, you know, fans don't particularly get engaged, it's not always sold out. But in this region of the country where football is, it's a real hotbed in terms of producing footballers over many decades, and then we tend to get a very good atmosphere.
Very true. That was the second reason that he gave, and we are underway then here. It's a big day for Nigeria. Missed out on the Nations Cup. Their record is very good, much better indeed actually than Cameroon. Made it, of course, to the last 16 on a number of occasions, which is something Cameroon can't match. And in terms of meetings between these two nations, Nigeria do hold the upper hand. Last time Cameroon actually won a game in regulation time against Nigeria. You've got to go back to the 27th of August of 1989. It was a World Cup qualifier then, and they won by 1-0. They do pick their moments, as those of you who are seasoned watchers of the African game will tell you. Whenever it comes to Nations Cup time, that was a very poor header. Tell you what, just let it glance off his shoulder. He certainly wasn't aware of any movement behind him, and Nagamaleo very nearly stole it.
Your early moment nerves.
Interesting to see how Igalo does. Hasn't got a great goal-scoring reputation with the national team. He's somebody that's not quite good in.
One of the problems we try for the national team in Nigeria is that there are always so many options. You know, you have one or two mediocre games, and there's a clamour from the press, you know, to replace you. There's always a good alternative, and you don't get too much time actually to play your way yourself into the role.
Well, they've had real problems in terms of goalkeepers, haven't they? The much publicised illnesses, and Ikeme, who's recovering, we believe. And they were talking about bringing back into the fold. He's not recovered in time from injury either, so there's a lot of inexperience there. Gadeu, who was the best earlier on this year, and actually managed to get on the score sheet more times than Abubakar. Well, Bazigard's gone down, taken a bit of a bang then. Moved after the Nations Cup from Denmark. Another of the players who's earned riches in China. As a truce ball.
I believe there's a very good reason, actually, Tim, why Nigeria's got a much better record against Cameroon in the last 10 or 15 years. This used to be a very physical contest throughout the late 70s, 80s, in particular late 80s, up until the early 90s. Nigeria used to play with a lot of force against Cameroon, who always matched drills and always had a little bit more guile and as well, and especially in the final third of Cameroon. Always felt as if they had Nigeria's number in big tournaments, in a couple of tournaments especially. That changed in the mid-90s. Nigeria had a group of players who were able to have a level. There was good depth as well, and as a result, the of Nigerian football altered, and I think that's been one of the key reasons why the Super Eagles have matched the Lions in recent times.
This is Anguissa.
The brawn doesn't always work when you're playing against athletes as physically as you, so there's been that turnaround and enabled Nigeria to sort of go, if you like.
It's important to talk about the referees in these occasions. Gihangi of Egypt and Zama of Gambia are those in charge today. That's Anguissa. I think he got a bit dipping volley in the air from Nagamaleo.
He struck that out, didn't he? Elderton Echijile thought about trying to intercept with the head. It was a good job he didn't, actually, because it would have given Galemu just that little bit more time. Just tried to lob that over. A bit of pace onto it. Didn't try and hit the ball too hard.
Cameroon ball it is. Getting his foot in. All over the field in these early stages is the number 3, Anguissa, as Igalo putting himself about. And he scored 3 goals. The team was against Cameroon last time they met a couple of years ago. A 3-0 victory back in October 2015. Semi international. As Bazagog was certainly more used to seeing on the opposite side of the field than the one he's playing on here. Anguissa a turn, might take a pot shot here, Anguissa. This is Obi Mikel, 5th most capped player of all time for the Super Eagles is John Obi Mikel. It wasn't he that was thrilling the fans on the eve of this fixture. It was what potential was with victors in the starting line. 70% of those that were given or asked the question said Moses was the guy to help them win the game here today.
Yes, both very different players. Moses is the one of the breakers. A little bit more freedom when playing for the national side as opposed to his Chelsea role in the last season, in particular as wing back. He will be on the right side, but he will come in field.
I think he probably enjoys this a bit more.
Most definitely.
Given away to Anguissa. Seeing a lot of the ball, as I said, Abubakar waiting on the edge of the penalty area.
Attacking players by nature, Tim, don't want to do too much defending. If they can get away with doing nothing, they'll be quite happy. Of course, there'll be gaps you'll have to fill defensively when Cameroon with the ball, and they've seen a fair bit of it as well, the line so far. The defensive line for Nigeria has been a little bit too cautious. They've stood off, they've actually dropped back off a little bit. There's been no pressure on the ball. They've probably not felt they've had the opportunity to actually push up and try and play offside, try and play a high line.
Test then coming So this keeper here is Zenwa. Used to delivering against the odds. We're doing it the way up to the minutes before the end of that final against Egypt when they won the Nations Cup. That looks as if it might have gone too deep. Keeper comes and makes a good claim. There was the ball wasn't out of play. It was well kept in.
That ball was in. Abubakar was hunting, hoping someone would drop. Always likely to get penalised in that situation.
He's a player they've got to keep firm eyes on from those positions. As we said, it was twice on the score sheet, and Zet plays in the Nations Cup. Well, they give away another free kick here.
Was not really making any attempt to play the ball.
Having a bit of explaining to do then.
Referee seems to be enjoying himself. All light-hearted at the moment.
Kanjo once linked with Liverpool a few years ago. Certainly the man of the match in that final against Egypt back in February. They go very deep yet again, and under pressure once again was Juste Ekong, and Obi Mikel back there getting involved as well.
When you're deep like that, Tim, it's so difficult for the goalkeeper to come through and punch any ball. Sometimes got to clamber over his own teammates, their jerseys.
So Tekeyu also in there with Nagadri. And there's Zenwa. At least he's got two on the line there as well. Tempted to move for it, and he might spring to claim, which he does. The marking wasn't brilliant, and if it's not Nagadri, it's Tekeyu, one or the other, that's been meeting these every time they've found a good delivery.
They're coming together with him and actually Ogala, who was on the way back there defending.
As Ndidi got the upper hand at the moment, Cameroon. Moses unable to bring it under control. It'll be Abdullahi's throw. Abdullahi again. Here's Anguissa.
This doesn't need to be too much of an open game from Nigeria's point of view, though. Moment. They're looking a little bit anxious and, you know, a little bit overeager to actually get the ball forward to Igalo quite early. He's, I wouldn't say super quick, he's certainly a strong runner, especially with the ball close to his feet. But he still likes that service to be short into him so he can maneuver himself around people. He moves really well inside the box, Igalo. He's got great awareness.
Basikov did well there, did brilliantly. Ekong again, just having to get it downfield, fairly aimless. Onda. There's another one who's little actual playing experience with clubs, was at Barcelona from the age of 13. Never really made any headway there. It's been with Sevilla Atletico, but only made 2 appearances for them last season, and he was sent off the second one of those. It's Liuco. And again. Broken up by Ndidi. Truseko. Igalo going through the middle. This is Mose now. Chance to run at Liuco. He is very quick, Liuco. Moses holding it up, looking for a bit of support to arrive. And it all breaks down with Anguissa's interception here. And Basagog brings it away again. It's a good bit of play by Basagog. He's got 2 or 3 options in front of him, but he just held on to it for too long. But again, the support wasn't very quick in getting up there to help him out. There was potential in that move. What did the referee see here?
He did see it. Igalo's asked. He saw it, he did. He pointed for a free kick.
Well, they have shaken things up a bit out here on the pitch, Cameroon, with Liuco starting as a left full-back here today. And Basagog operating on the left side of midfield as opposed to the right. But maybe set plays could be somewhere Nigeria could profit. It's in there on Doa. To come for it, not a great punch by him. It does just enough to get it away.
That's good cover from Victor Moses. All the way back to prevent the breakaway. And just that little bit I feel, Tim. It's both sides probably a little bit anxious as well. Not wanting to just sit and allow the others to get into the tempo for obvious reasons.
Leading to Abdullahi. Lovely ball to pick out Moses again. Just too much of it to Liuco. If he turns and gets the ball in, Azoni, Obi Mikel there for Nigeria. Chile into Victor Moses. Cheer goes up every time Victor Moses gets anywhere near the ball. There's Ndidi. Balogun. Looking for Moses again. Igalo is down there, gives away the free kick though.
That's a favourite move of Igalo, just to lean himself, ease himself into one of the central defenders, set him inside the box. I've seen him do that so many times. It's a great ability just to turn people with or without the ball. Get away with that one.
Well, they've got a pass here. They're expecting 45,000 in Yaoundé at the Omnisport Stadium, where they've got a couple of big screens there for the fans. Watch. as Abubakar, who was also on the of Leicester City about a year ago. In the end, they didn't end up getting him, and he ended up going off to Besiktas. It's a bizarre loan, really. It's not that he wasn't a success, it was because as soon as Porto, the goals began. Porto, architects of their own downfall there. Is Nagamalew.
Here's a surprising one for me. They obviously played that role for. He's found a replacement, a good one.
Still only 25 years of age.
You know, they've not been the same since, have they?
No, not at all. He's back though this year, and if you actually look at what he's done, he's got a hat-trick. It was on the second day back for FC Porto this season. It's fought by Ndidi, looking to pick out Moses, and he just can't keep playing.
Well, they are looking for Moses Simon, but he was well. I think Serge Leco's actually looked well so far.
Trying to make a breakthrough at Tottenham, did Simon. Now here's Obi Mikel teeing it up for Peter Moses, and an awful moment. Obi Mikel might have had a goal himself.
Well, despite his free role for the national side, John, Obi Mikel still not confident enough on that left foot. Really should have just shifted out a little bit, wide away, abdicated responsibility. Really, Moses wasn't in a bad position at all.
Best opening they've made, so Krill created, really far.
Yeah, came to it pretty quickly as well. Wasn't a bad pass. Moses was clearly backwards already. Just took his eye off the ball. A lovely piece of stuff from Wilfred and Ndidi. Just allowed that little space to open up on the edge of the box. Yeah, 20 minutes play, nearly.
It's interesting, trying to get in of the coaches to try and find out what the game plans were. Just wait and see what happens as Abdullahi makes the interception. Bruce slightly set a point out of this game today, and 3 points on Monday. He'll suit us for fun. Here goes Anguissa, nobody with him, on his own. Everything closed down. Liuko here. There'll be a free kick. Challenge on Nazi.
Put this simply, Tim, I think Cameroon dare not lose. They can't afford to lose, and Nigeria dare not lose. That often leads to stalemates. Let's hope that's not the case. Neither goalkeeper will be tested so far.
Well, when you look back, they won that Nations Cup. They only scored 7 goals, and 6 forward players used. The defender ended up being their top scorer. So this never looked like being a game where there was going to be hatfuls of goals. That should be the keeper's ball on Doa. And back it comes to Onansi, lets it slip. This is Trustekong.
I'll show you that too. Centre halves have not started well in early. So I've been anxious, you know, you've got players who with more ability, 5-10 yards in front of you. If you can't find them quickly enough, you start getting back to the goalkeeper, playing 1 or 2 passes alongside you. Keen to impress, I can understand that, but as I said, a little bit nervy at the moment, some plays in Griots.
Who's buzzing around, looking to try and profit on it. He has Anguissa. He just stab it through. His contribution has steadily grown. Its influence on the game going forward. Cameroon. Marseille player who only made his debut in March against Tunisia. Scored against Australia in the Confederations Cup.
Onside, unlucky there. Officials got that one wrong.
It's Trujdekong into Onadzi. Chile isn't an awful lot of looking to try and turn there as it gets a free kick. And the first yellow card of the game will go to Nagari. He doesn't look very happy at it either.
A yellow card will please John Nigalo no end at all. Won the thing closer now to the big defender.
Well, his attacking prowess cannot be understated. He looks to be the perfect all-round player. There's Nagadri, who's currently with Slavia Prague. Obi Mikel is in there, Igalo is in there, Balogun is in there, also Trujdekong, the big number 5 is there. You can see Balogun looking to try and slip away behind Abubakar, who's on back there to do some defending. Didn't need a touch. Nigeria have the lead. No, they do not. I thought they'd got to touch someone on the way. Well, the flag goes up. Well, in need of an explanation is the captain.
He said that the ball wasn't touched, John Obi Mikel. This will tell us certainly whether it was offside or not. Well, certainly Ogalo is offside. He certainly doesn't touch it.
Oh, said just a couple of seconds ago, is it potentially going to be a day when set plays could be Nigeria cause most threat? Two inexperienced goalkeepers here. Who is going to take advantage of one of them? Now, he's going to very carefully Gallo. And Teke is going to get a yellow card. Is he here? Well, he is. So the two central defenders on yellow cards inside 5 minutes. It really caused a couple of problems for the remaining part of the game. What do you think about the card?
They expected to be honest. You've just seen your central defensive teammate booked a couple of minutes ago, getting too close to Ogalo, being rolled and then bringing him down, and now you platter through the back of him. Even if you get some of the ball, it's a clean challenge to him before the referee's going to allow you to get away with that one. Ogalo's a slippery customer. He can't turn you there and run towards goal. There's a couple of players in yellow shirts to cover for you.
Just a bit too much pace on the ball, but Nigeria having their best spell in this game. Big weekend of African action coming up for you, beginning obviously here today, but tomorrow at 9 p.m. Senegal against Burkina Faso, that live World Cup qualifier on BT Sport 1 HD live. Then you can see the return of this on Monday at 6 p.m. That's on BT Sport 2 HD. And then on Tuesday at 6:30, it's Ivory Coast against Gabon, live from 6:30 on 2 HD. And then we mentioned this before the kickoff. There's often lots of various criticism about administration and how they run things in Africa, but the way they set these qualifiers up is a thrilling climax. Only one qualifier. Game means something. Now, this is Abubakar. threading it through Basagog, just unable to get there.
Yeah, as quick as he is. It's a little bit more central as well, and in the winger inside. Yeah, straightforward, isn't it? Everybody knows what they have to do as soon as the group is drawn. And this is a group of certain death, isn't it? Algeria, of course, who've performed well the last couple of seasons. Nigeria and Cameroon have, apart from this early on in this campaign, Cameroon winning the continental title, have fallen on hard times, if you like.
Moses, isn't it? Rick Moses, and he just couldn't make it loop over the keeper and drop. Applauds it, and they applaud him. Want to see a bit more of that. Basically, the message got a bit fortunate. First thing that Liuko has done wrong, really.
Yeah, it's a good ball from Moses Simon. He does well, actually, Victor Moses, to get a decent header onto that. Not noticed for his heading, but it's a decent attempt.
He too got on the score sheet in that friendly victory a couple of years ago against Cameroon. Moses Simon over the top. Igalo gives JC. Has he got the strength? Yes, he has. Can he get a finish? Yes, he can. Nigeria lead. Indecision at the back for Cameroon, and it is pounced upon, and Ezemwa leads the celebrations at the other end, and the crowd erupt into noise and celebration. Good finish.
That's a super finish from Igalo, and it's been coming to him actually not because of the chances that Nigeria have created. There's been virtually nothing. 2 attempts from Victor Moses in the last 5 minutes or so, but because of the 2 yellow cards, both enticed, both won actually by Odion Igalo, and the first opportunity actually after that, it's a lovely piece of sculling in Jordan with Mikel. He knows Igalo is going to be on his bike. Centre halves can't lunge. Gadri can't get too close to him. He's already been yellow carded. He can't afford to run to the ground. He probably would have done if he's not been booked. Here's a great strength I talked about from Igalo. Ability to roll defenders, better defenders than the Cameroonian. Back to he's been yellow carded. He just said he didn't take his shirt off. And it's a super finish across the goalkeeper.
Well, a bit silly. He's put himself under a bit of pressure there now.
And some of the yellow cards for goal celebrations, I must have been, it's borderline. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, he didn't completely take shirts off. We've seen players, not even jumping into the crowd in some domestic football in the last week or so, been yellow carded and subsequently red carded. Let's take all the fun out of celebrating a goal, shall we?
Funny, actually, I saw Alan Shearer erupting on Match of the Day a couple of weeks ago in the Manchester City-Bournemouth game after the late goal celebration. But Igalo, who's had one of those careers where at times he's felt as if he's been permanently on trial everywhere that he's gone. It's best remembered his time in Watford for that amazing second half performance in a 7-2 victory over Blackpool, where he got 4 goals in the second half. It was after they were trailing 2-0 at half-time in that game as well. But back in the goals, back in favour, and back in the limelight.
There's an agricultural clearance from Ogazi. Ogenyazi. He's normally a guy who's so quick to put his foot on the ball and just try and calm proceedings down.
Now, at the other end, it's Mukanjo, who's had a very quiet game so far. 31 minutes in here. Nagamaleo trying to find a bit of space, and again it's going in, looking for Tekeu.
Nearly gone to the end of it. It's a good corner because it took out Igalo, who's defending just on the edge of that 6-yard box. And that's a minimum required. Beat the first man.
Ogajri, Tekeu again getting ready to make a move in toward that near post. The keeper right underneath it again manages to make a safe enough claim.
Well, that whistle's certainly not gone for a foul on the goalkeeper. Who knows what the referee saw?
Well, he captained Nigeria in the African Nations Championship squad that eliminated Benin recently to qualify for the finals in Kenya next year. The Ganjo and Boubacar, whoever was playing, starting up front. Tambe was there. Azua was always a potential danger. That should be Zenwa's, but today there hasn't been an awful lot to suggest that they've got what it takes to score goals here.
They've had some good running through the middle of the park, but as you said, Tim, not been much, if anything at all, with the flanks. Abubakar's not had a decent service. He's somebody who loves to run onto things, and the Nigerian backline has actually dropped quite deep in the opening 15-20 minutes especially. That makes it difficult for him because he doesn't pick up too many balls and turn and run past one or two defenders.
Victor Moses.
And no reason, of course, at the moment, with Nigeria taking the lead, for them to now push up and squeeze the play because they're quite athletic in the middle of the park with the line. So Nigeria in midfield. John Obi Mikel, who's a little bit further forward. Generally, probably not responsibility, but Onazi and Ndidi in particular will have to track runners anytime there's anybody making a burst beyond them.
And you can see Leuko never needs more than one invitation to get forward.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Art Bocker.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ivorian international. Similar sort of stature, probably a little bit taller. Great coming forward, lovely technique, super strong on the ball. As strong as you are, somebody puts their body like that, as indeed he did, there's no way round.
10 minutes to go to half-time here in Uyo. Nigeria have this slender lead, looking to try and pick out Moses. Malcolm Moses get away here, open up the angle on the edge of the penalty area, he does. And Moses Simon is in there, brings a save, and a great save it was as well from Undoa. And that has just about kept Cameroon in the game. And look at him up quickly to celebrate and remonstrate as well in equal measure with his defenders.
Super play, Moses to Moses. Yeah, that's a great stop. Just had to almost check himself as well, did Moses Simon. The ball almost didn't sit nicely for him. Did it well actually to keep his eye on that. Yeah, that ball just bobbles up. That's well hit. No complaints at all in terms of the strike, and a brilliant save.
Victor Moses is going to swing it out here. Here comes down Moses Simon is back down there. Getting stuck in again is Igalo. Ziani. A little step over there by Nagamaleu. Started off brightly, had a couple of decent attempts, Nagamaleu, but he's faded a bit. There'll be no service to Abubakar in this game whatsoever. As soon as you say that one sails over his head, and that'll be guided back to Zenwa.
I don't think he's a forward who actually panics though, Tim. We've seen a lot of him in Portuguese football, haven't we, over the last couple of seasons. He's used to playing this lone striker role, and the older you get with that, the the more you realise there are going to be long periods of frustration, or can be, in matches where you're not the dominant force, and just waiting for your chance is all part of the game.
And as if to underline that, the goal that he did get at the Nations Cup was 5 minutes before the end that effectively won the Nations Cup for Cameroon.
And he remains strong and powerful towards the end of matches as well. Many question marks, if any at all, about his stamina. And yeah, robust challenge, wasn't it, from Gadjui and Gadjui?
Well, the referee has laid the law down early in this game, as they know what to expect, so already on a yellow card.
He'll get away with a few challenges like that because he's making an attempt to play the ball, but I have a feeling that he was looking to take out Igalo as well. But anything where he's isolated, he has to be very, very careful.
Chustekong has made a move forward for this. Indeed, he is at the back post here for Nigeria. And Victor Moses just couldn't bring it under control. Siani there. It's Echejile. I think I had to try and put some pressure on, but Nigeria do very well indeed there. And that's back to Abdullahi. And also getting back is Basagog. Well, they usually like to try and pick the coaches out at certain stages in games. We've not seen too much of Rua or his head coach, Salisu Yusuf. That's all can point to, which is quite admirable, because not everybody, certainly on the African continent, does it. There is a tendency to employ senior coaching positions players or ex-players of Nigerian origin or African origin. 20-odd coaches in charge since the turn of the century, and only 4 of them have been non-African. So in it goes by Ndidi Andoa. He doesn't inspire you with a huge amount of confidence at times, does he, Andoa?
Not overly, Tim, but he actually makes it quite easy for the players to interpret, because he comes for almost everything.
There they go again.
And stayed his ground this time. As a result of that, defenders, especially around him, will always be a little bit pessimistic, which a good defender should be anyway.
Abubakar's racing into the penalty area if there's a cross coming in. That was a very good challenge by Balogun. Brilliantly done, and the crowd rise to cheer that. As Obi Mikel turns beautifully, and Victor Moses is off on his way. Igalo is in there as well. Victor has got to lay it off, and Moses really will be hoping now that doesn't come back to haunt him. That was the moment. What an opportunity, what an opening, but what an error.
Lovely play once again. John Obi Mikel turns his man and sets Victor Moses. That's what he played it across. He just gives Big Adolfo Takeo the opportunity to get back almost level with him, and then it's got to be an inch-perfect pass. It wasn't, and the ball was cut out. Early delivery to Igalo, and surely that would have been 2-0.
Well, Nigeria could quite easily be 3-0 up in this game if Moses Simon had scored as well. 3 great chances they've had here, and still just the 1 goal. It'll be Victor Moses, Igalo, Mikel in there. Well, what they couldn't do the first time, they made sure they did the second. He's been the best player on the field in this first half, and he rounds a great 45 minutes here with goal number 2, and he can rest easy for the moment. Right time, right place, and it could be the killer blow.
Well, no more than Nigeria deserved. This last 15 minutes has been exemplary. Great little piece of skill and awareness, unselfishness as well from Igalo. And many a forward would have tried to control that and maybe turned himself. John Obi Mikel, well, followers of Chelsea will be wondering, is this the same man who played for us for so many years? I don't know, about maybe 1 in about 300 appearances it seemed. And a lovely finish, sliding, stretching to that ball and fires it past the goalkeeper, Fabrice Undoa. They're loving every minute of it. One of their favourite sons, John Obi Mikel. And he go back in time, 2005, when Nigeria made it all the way to the final of the World Youth Cup, the Under-20 World Cup. He was voted then the second best player in the tournament. They got to the final, they lost against Argentina, and the only guy that performed better than him on that international stage was Lionel Messi. Victor Moses. Still going Moses somehow. And maybe some of the focus will not be attached to him, because you can imagine going in, if they'd have gone in on 0 up, he'd have had a bit of explaining to do. Yeah, I think O'Rourke would have been very disappointed if that margin was still, and who knows, it may well be. May well still be Cameroon on the attack. But in truth, already they've not shown enough in the final third. That greater for that little bit of magic in the final third, from flanks in particular, has come from the home of Nigeria so far.
Well, they had a fairly decent opening with Cameroon for about 7 or 8 minutes. I imagine there's a bit of nerves about the place, but Nigeria have grown steadily into this game and have been a team for the majority of the first half as we come into the final exchanges of the first half.
Well, quite simply, the 3 most vaunted players for Nigeria have stood up and produced some brilliant moments. John Obi Mikel, Adiona Gallo and Victor Moses.
Well, Hugo Bruce has got an awful lot of work to do to rally his beleaguered troops in this second half. And really, 2 attempts from both of them from Nagamaleu. Simply not good enough. There's Balogun, and that'll go back from Drus de Ekong.
He didn't actually play that ball after he's actually looked to see where grandson Abubakar was. He's put it, isn't he?
He is.
Adolf Teku.
Mind you, he's got to be careful as well, isn't he, if the referee thinks that he might have been...
At the junction, turn right. At the crossroads, turn right. At the forest, turn right. At the mountain pass, turn right. At the sand dunes, turn right. At the river, go straight through. Then turn right. At the dormant volcano, turn right. I suppose you want the left turns now.
The only thing that stands between you and great sleep is a simple box. The revolutionary Casper mattress perfectly balances soft and firm for outrageous comfort. It's the internet's mattress. Order online. You can try it for 100 nights in your own home. And if you don't like it, we'll pick it up and refund you everything. Try it today, risk-free, at Casper.com.
If you think you're suffering with tinnitus, please listen carefully, because if you don't act now, tinnitus could take control.
Mine started with a ringing in my ears. Then it grew louder and louder.
It put a strain on my work, my relationships, my entire life.
I stopped going out. I had to quit my job.
I didn't think I could go on.
If you have tinnitus, you can take back control with the help of this free guide from Action on Hearing Loss, the UK's biggest hearing loss charity. It's packed with information about tinnitus, including practical tips and ways to help you cope. It tells you about the help and support you can get locally and how we're funding research into discovering what we all want, a cure for tinnitus. Call 0800 035 9345 or text CURE1 to 86777 for your free guide.
Please, do it today, because together we can fight tinnitus.
Can we get travel insurance even though some of us take medication?
Sure you can.
But I've got my hip.
And I've got my high blood pressure.
And I've got... Nigel, can we all get cover?
Sure you can. StaySure specialise in travel insurance for pre-existing medical conditions.
So can I go scuba diving then?
Sure you can. Our policies cover all kinds of activities.
Yes!
Call us now on 0800 054 2256 or go online to staysure.co.uk and quote EV offer to get 10% off the base premium of all policies.
You can find us in every corner of the world. Watching, listening, analysing. We are everywhere. And we see everything. We are members of the world's favourite online betting company. And we gamble responsibly at Bet365.
What's I love about a Crocodile garage door? Designed to add style, security, and even value to your home. Call Crocodile on 08000 22234 and find out just how quick and simple they are to install. You'll love their neat, space-saving design. And it's a doddle to use. But you know what I love? The craftsmanship. It's quick. It's Crocodile stuff.
Rethink your training and discover fluid motion of the Freestyle Trainer S7i from Nordic Track. Combine the stride patterns of a treadmill, a stepper and an elliptical into a single machine. Work out on the cushion suspension. Add variety with a 10% incline. Enjoy interactions with a 7-inch touchscreen. Available now from nordictrack.co.uk.
Check your credit score and report today for free at clearscore.com.
Charlie, check your latest credit score report at clearscore.com.
Clearscore.com.
What doing?
I'm in the bath, Moose. Checking my credit score.
Okay, I bath too.
Whoa, you can't come in here.
I don't want to.
Clearscore.com. Check your credit score and report for free.
Welcome back live. We're in Uyo. Lots of joyous Nigerian fans are at place because they lead 2-0. Tuesday evening we have this England's under-21s against Latvia's under-21s. That live from 7:30 p.m. on 1HD. Also available in 4K UHD. Let's have a look at the highlights then of the first half. Fair to say as well, Effin, that Cameron didn't have a bad start. Looked to settle well early on.
It's not at all. Certainly more positive of both sides. Just saw more of the ball. Damale with the shot not too far over the goalkeeper. And indeed over the crossbar. Nikechiku Ezenwa.
That came as well when very played in Abubakar. Here's the disallowed goal. Igalo was offside.
System was clear about that, and it's only when we saw the replay that we were absolutely sure that was okay. Certainly doesn't get a touch onto it.
More chances with Moses. Got ahead there of Leuko. And Victor Moses, you can see, racing in to arrive at the back post. Should he have done better there?
I think a more accomplished header of the ball, maybe a bigger play, maybe would have been disappointed if he doesn't get that one on target across the goalkeeper. Just a looping header, indeed, over. Moses not noted for his goal, not with the head anyway. Wasn't a bad attempt, I won't be overly critical.
And then here is the goal. Here's the best player of the first half, Obi Mikel, with that ball in. We knew it had already been yellow carded. Great strength shown there by Igala.
Yeah, neither of the centre-half team actually wanted to really tackle him, did they? Teki or Gadjui. Both been yellow carded, a few minutes in between each other, after each other. And the goal just muscles Gadjui out the way. And as I said, he used his body really. That's a great turn. A little touch, he's not too far wide on his left foot and striking past the goalkeeper.
And then Moses picks up Moses with a beautiful ball. Give credit there to Ondoa.
Yeah, it's well hit. It's had a good height actually, but he's actually leaning towards his right, because most of the time you'd actually pick side foot across the goalkeeper face. So great action, pushing over the crossbar.
And in again, and this was the man. Igalo with his arm raised, set up for goal number 2. Again, I credit to Teke this time to get back there and slide in and make the interception.
Yeah, Moses gave him the opportunity. It was a well-timed slide, but from the resulting corner,
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant that was. Anguissa got caught absolutely flat-footed and goal here.
Yeah, lovely little dummy at the near post from the goalie. He knows he really can't do anything special from there, and Mikel with a wonderful finish.
Good stuff. There we are then. Nigeria lead 2-0 at half-time. What's next for Cameroon? We'll find out very shortly. Don't go away, we'll take a short break.
At the junction, turn right. At the crossroads, turn right. At the forest, turn right. At the mountain pass, turn right. At the sand dunes, turn right. At the river, go straight through. Then turn right. At the dormant volcano, turn right. I suppose you want the left turns now.
It's a lovely day today, so whatever you've got to do, you've got a lovely day to do it in, that's true. And I hope whatever you've got to do, something that can be done by 2, for I'd really like to stay. It's a lovely day.
That there on the phone is Quiff, the sports betting app, where every time you place a bet, odds might get quiffed. What does getting quiffed feel like? It's like catching a glass before it hits the ground. And the catch is so amazing that you never stop holding it. And everyone's like, why is he always holding that glass? Until they find out that you caught it when you open the cupboard. And they think, I get it. That's the best feeling available to a human being. And that, more or less, is Quiff.
When it comes to family, what's normal? Normal is normal. This is me, mum, ma, mama, stay-at-home mums, working mums, single mums, adoptive mums. I'm doing this on my own mums. Nans, grans who put you to bed and you're not to believe in ghosts. Or maybe it's dad who chucks you up. Dad, daddy, daddies, long-distance daddies, weekend dads who pick you up and let you stay up late but make you promise to never ever tell your mum. Maybe you never met your dad. Perhaps it's granddad who takes you out for that kickabout. Or your brother, half-brother, your brother from another mother. Maybe your friends are your family, the family you got to choose. Like a sister from another mister who pops around for tea. Families come in all shapes and sizes, but it's meal times that make a family. McCain, we are family.
They say we Danes are the happiest nation in the world. So, what's our secret? Is it that we keep work and life in perfect balance? Is it that we make time for feeling all fuzzy and snuggly together? Or could the secret of our happiness be down to create what we believe is the best beer in the world? Probably.
to Choose or Lose, where we pitch Walker's classics against top flavours from around the world. But only the best stay. Which will you choose and which will you lose? We need an answer.
Choose or lose. You decide.
What if you could book your flight, hotel, and car rental all in one place? Expedia are the travel experts who give you the world in your hands. See more. Expedia. Everything you need, all in one place, at all protected.
Checking your balance with a swipe of a finger is a little thing. But sometimes, little things make a big difference. Banking from HSBC.
The biggest Premiership season since it all began.
Out of the blocks in this new season with a bang.
Choose your team and get ready to shout. It is iconic, it's the home of rugby. The superstars combine. Oh my goodness! The adventure continues. The level of skill, the level of drama. Fasten your seatbelts, this is going to be an incredible Aviva Premiership season.
Welcome back then to these are the scenes that greeted Nigeria as they left the field at half-time. 2 goals, that was Obi Mikel's goal, and a very, very happy man. A big question, I suppose, is going to be whether they make any changes. Now, tomorrow evening from 5:15, Tranmere Rovers against Dover Athletic. That's in the National League. It's still hard to think Tranmere Rovers, isn't it, not being in any of the professional divisions.
I agree with you. I'm not getting too excited over though, Tim, as you are.
I remember Johnny King having them very close to getting promotion to the Premier League. Unbelievable. Anyway, not unbelievable here. There is a change that's been made. So that is Choupo-Moting. I'll wait and see who it is that is going to come off here, but they need more bite.
Gamaleyo, I think, has been sacrificed.
So what type of response are we going to see from Cameroon, the African champions? Might be immediate here. There's a lot of space here. Where's Abdullahi? Seen Liuko go on the overlap, and that is easy for Azenwa. Very, very brisk opening exchange there.
Yes, the second half of Nigeria. Exactly what the coach would have been impressing upon his players at half-time, Guru, is that they need to be concentrated for the full 45 minutes, of course. especially those opening, or the opening 10 or 15 minutes of the second half. This is when Cameroon will be fresh enough in their mind, especially to believe that they can get something and get back into the game.
Just reading a piece with some of the attitudes of politicians that usually come out around these times in Nigeria, talking about trying to get on the back of the football team, and the chairman of the Senate Committee for Sport said there really is nothing about this Cameroon team. It isn't anything special. He's probably congratulated himself for his predictions at half-time, but 45 minutes to go. Igalo waiting inside the penalty area patiently as Onatsi swings one in.
Well, they are the defending champions of the continent, so they're a pretty good side. I like it when politicians stick to politics.
Yeah. Well, there's all sorts of subplots being played out in the press. You might remember Ayatu's still angry at his removal of as CAF president, and there was a feeling that he thought that Pani, the Nigerian FA president, played a key role in that as well. So there was another reason for them to get out here and do well today.
Yeah, the rivalry between Nigeria and Cameroon is sometimes a bitter one. It's a very intense one. It's a healthier, more respectful, more friendly rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana. No doubt about that. It's the connection between the two nations.
This is Siani right through the middle. That was a good piece of goalkeeping by Zemwa. May not have actually got hold of it right away, but he did enough to push it away. Here's Anguissa as Cameroon just turn up the heat a bit here. Lifted into Basagog, back where we thought he should have been starting the game. He certainly looks a lot more comfortable playing over on the right side than he does on the left.
Well, complacency can be such a dangerous thing. If Nigeria think this game is done and dusted, they could be in for a rude awakening. It's the kind of energy with which Cameroon started the first half.
Shot, good one. Good save too. Him a load of confidence, that. And the player we said keep an eye out for, Anguissa, because he was very heavily involved in the opening exchanges, and again there.
That was a great strike, wasn't it? It was almost casual in the end. Yeah, it's all about the technique. Still a little bit of a touch as well. Off the backside of Wilfred Ndidi.
Oh, lovely bit of play. Oh, Basagog's already looked more threat in 2 minutes than he did in 45 in the first half. 19 is Vai. Again, as a player we were normally used to seeing playing over as a left full-back in the Nations Cup, and indeed in the Confederations Cup.
Strangely now, some left-footers feel more comfortable on the right wing than they are. I still love that opportunity to be able to come inside and hit balls.
Yeah, they were talking about that actually pre-game. The Nigerians, they've only got one natural left-footed player in the team. This is Echejile. Chibamoti was going nowhere fast there. Referee telling him to get up as Balogun brings it out. Born in Berlin was Balogun, but his father was Nigerian. He had something of a memorable debut. He came on for Ober and was injured after 20 minutes and fractured his foot, and he was out for months. But he's looking a bit more animated from the touchline than he was in the first half. There's Anguissa. Trying to get Vaid in. Lovely body. Oh, what a good recovery. Balogun did well again then. Well, Nigeria inviting Cameroon to come onto them, and they're doing just that.
Not only that, Tim, but they're also allowing some of their teammates to almost defend one-on-one, and sometimes the cover in the box when that cross came in. Quite a few big gaps in between the green shirts.
Knows his way around the continent of Africa. He's been coaching nations since 2010 with Gabon and Niger and Burkina Faso before he came here, but he had an established record as a club coach as well, perhaps best known for his time with Bordeaux back in the 1990s. Worked with Zinedine Zidane then. Here's Igalo. Again, you can see the movement off the ball from Moses running into those spaces.
Yeah, there weren't too many options for him. He decided to go for the centre forward, and then he'd stand and just admire the pass. Not looking for support. I think he's a little bit lucky there.
The one trying to keep an eye out on Mubakar, also in that game. Just lacks any threat from this set play. You got a better chance at it here, Basagor. That's a better looking ball in there then. It'll drop to Anguissa, who'll hit it if he gets a chance now. They're going to open up play here. Nigeria can launch the counter-attack. Moses is away and running again. Now, where's he going to go with this? Moses has got Moses, and he's going to have to tee him back up on the edge of the area. He can get a shot in here, and there is the third, and that has got to be game over. Classic counter-attack from Nigeria. Victor Moses makes them pay. Just when you thought that that move might have been running out of steam, Moses picked his spot beautifully. Well, this is turning into a rout here.
Well, that's just sheer star quality. Tim, we actually didn't see it from the beginning of the move, right on the edge of the box. The weight of the pass from John Obi Mikel to set Victor Moses up and running. It was only a 2 or 3 yard pass. People will say, well, there's nothing special about that, but if he overhits that ball, Moses then has got to be at full set to try and keep control. And if he underhits it, Moses has got to check himself. There's the end product. Once again, Moses to Moses, this time with the finish. Unerring accuracy across the face with the sparing hand of Fabrice Ondoa. Game over.
Well, this is beyond their wildest expectations here. Cameroon look a beaten unit here, unless there is some miraculous force majeure that probably take for this to turn around in their favour now. There's Obi Mikel's touch. Balogun. Well, there was a bit of doom and gloom around the place coming into this game, but said, look, you know, the team against South Africa, forget about that. It wasn't the first choice team, nothing like it. The big names are back, and what a difference they have made. It's funny, isn't it? The big names are back, every one of them scored.
they've been the game breakers so far today. Choupo-Moting has gone down. He's only just entered the field of play.
Well, this really has been, I don't know about you, but this has been a real surprise to me how poorly Cameroon have played here today. I've seen pretty much all of that joyous run through to the final of the African Cup of Nations just 6-7 months ago. Now, point you in the direction of more football action that is coming your way. Senegal against Burkina Faso. That is tomorrow night from 9 p.m. BT Sport 1 HD. And then you see the return of this on Monday. Cameroon against Nigeria from 6 p.m. That's BT Sport 2 HD. And then the following day, it's Ivory Coast in action against Gabon from 6:30 on 2 HD. Well, we'll just run through the goals again, and why not?
He's able to control that ball as he's falling away, slipping actually, losing contact with the ground, solid contact anyway. Slotted it past the goalkeeper.
And we're going to get another change here. So Choupo-Moting lasts just seconds. And Diffusion is in. Well, they were just looking for a little more bite, a little more killer instinct. They tried to inject it. Now it's been somewhat nullified.
Well, it breaks your spirit when you are on top in a match and the opposition go down the other end and score on the counter-attack like that. As I said, even if you don't get the goal yourself, it just gives you that little bit of hope once again that you've stretched your opponent defence. Okay, the goalkeeper made 1 or 2 good saves, you're a little bit unlucky or sloppy with your finishing. But for you to be in charge of the game is stretch it a little bit, as I said, but feeling good about yourself despite the fact you're 2 goals down, and then the old sucker punch on the counter. That will draw, I think, almost the remaining steam out of this Cameroonian side tonight.
Well, although it's never nice to miss a major finals, not being in the Nations Cup last time around was something of a bitter pill. The run they've had in the World Cup has been exceptional, really, over recent years. They've missed only 1 since 1994. And again, those early days, that first appearance back in 1995. We'll just see who's coming on here.
Iheanacho.
Iheanacho is coming in.
Yeah, if it's a hamstring problem for Igalo, then there's absolutely no need to take chances. However slight the injury may be, if he's able to run it off, if it's cramp, who knows? Not with another big game again on Monday.
I need a laugh and smile about Iheanacho into the game. Well, September's been a good month for him, actually, in recent years. This time last year, he scored 4 goals in 4 individual games, Nations Cup, Champions League, Premier League. So Igalo goes off. Great return though for him. He was out of contention for a while. International career looked as if it was on the wane. But he's back with purpose and he's back with a bang, and what a time to regenerate your international career in the year of a World Cup.
Yeah, it's not qualifying for the Nations Cup. It hurt the Nigerian pride, no doubt about that. The whole nation was disappointed with the way that qualifying campaign went. But you know, these things could be good for you actually, just to reset. You know, there's a feeling of arrogance when you're one of the top footballer nations that almost as if you've got a divine right to get there, and it's a reminder that you have to work for it. Lots of the smaller countries in Africa right now are getting themselves together in the footballing sense. And for Cameroon, actually, Tim, things have changed now. But they had a couple of very mediocre seasons. They win the Cup of Nations as not one of the favourites at all, and all of a sudden now the nation is expecting them to come to places like Nigeria and win matches, which they've done so before, but it's by no means an easy task. So for them to feel like they could probably just waltz up here and not lose and play an inferior Nigerian side, surely they were mistaken, and that's proven to be the case so far.
Absolutely, and it's worth pointing out again, those of you that don't know, that the Cameroon FA has had huge problems in recent months. Their FA has actually been taken over and is being run independently away from them. So there are significant problems that they are having to overcome at the moment. And you never know, these things do trickle down at some point.
Well, FIFA certainly one like that. They don't like any interference with football associations.
Siani looked like a good run, just as he looked as if he was cocked and loaded to shoot this. And Ondoa's position does like to play on the edge of his own penalty area. Got to be careful, especially the speed which Nigeria have turned defence into attack in this game.
Inacho doesn't quite have the speed, the strength, or indeed that.
Oh, trying to catch out is Zenwa. Well, Faye's suddenly coming much more into the game than he was in the first half.
Actually retreating back towards his own goal is Zenwa when he deals with this ball. Inacho will still get opportunities with the two full-backs for Cameroon, Leko in particular in the first half, and Collins fine the right-hand side. They spent a lot of time going, moving forward. Two centre halves. Igalo was able to exploit it with his nous and experience. Inacho is quite that seasoned in terms of knowing how to expose defenders on field, so he'll want we probably need a little bit more time to work things out.
Well, there's some real carnival football going on out here. You can hear the reaction of the supporters here. Looking to make this 3 victories from 3. Nigeria 9 points. Cameroon would be 7 points behind with 3 games left to play after today. One of them the return on Monday. Inacho, something to chase here. They've got to watch the bounce of the ball, and he's going to be penalised here. Teku getting the decision. He had a nightmare start to the season. Scored an own goal inside 5 minutes against Chartres at the weekend and got sent off 6 minutes later. In fact, 2 of their back 4 have already been red carded this season, because Faye was also sent off on match day 2 in Belgium this year. Makes very good reading if you are a Nigerian fan. There was Ndidi, but was a little bit high by Anguissa. Ndidi. Here's Balogun. Ejigide.
Not seen much of him in an attacking capacity today, Elton Ejigide. He's one of the rampaging fullbacks on the continent. Quite a disciplined role. Indeed, the back four is actually played pretty well so far this evening, and I stress so far because things can change very, very quickly.
He will as desperate as anybody, perhaps even a bit more so. Actually, he missed the last World Cup. He was going to be part of the squad, but he got injured in a warm-up against Greece. This is Inacho. Is he going to have something spectacular? Here's Moses here. Can he bat one in? And he very nearly does. He sought the keeper under off his line, and he tried to curl it into the top left-hand corner.
There's a smart attempt once he comes inside. Surprised that Inacho didn't make a move for goal himself. Pull the trigger, 3-0 up, a striker coming on. Expecting to be a little bit selfish. Not the only option really for Moses. Wasn't too far away.
This is Agu. And it is Abimika who is going to come off. And he'll get a grand reception as he does so. He was head and shoulders above everybody else in that first half.
Yeah, fine performance once again from the captain.
So Agu into the game.
There's valuable game time as well for these fringe players. I won't call them fringe players. You know, when it really is a squad game more and more as the game becomes more and more athletic. So Debussy Agu will enjoy these 20 minutes. That's quite a nice chunk for him to play towards the end of the game.
Fought by Siani, but again was half-hearted. Abdullahi, bit of a heavy touch, and that is going to be perhaps, or perhaps not. Referee feeling a bit of empathy. Well, he has soaked up all of the adulation in the early months of this year, Bruce, former Anderlecht and Brugge. Legend certainly as a player, and indeed as a coach.
The success brings added pressure. This is what this group of Cameroon players now has to deal with. More difficult over the next few months, indeed leading up to the next Cup of Nations.
It's a great story though, wasn't it, that he saw the job advertised online and decided to have a go. Probably sent him a rather extensive DVD or Blu-ray or whatever of his significant achievements.
They made the right choice.
Certainly did. He was in the team that beat West Ham in a Cup Winners' Cup final back in 1976. Played against Liverpool in 78. Back in the days when the Cup Winners' Cup was one of the European competitions we used to see being played every year. And there is the man looking to guide Nigeria into another World Cup finals. They've left so many indelible memories down the years. We talked about something before the start of play. I think Sunday Elise's goal against Spain was still one of my
1998
standout games there. But how close they came in '94 to putting it to the app before Baggio got on the score sheet. There's De Jong's ball. And De Jong again. Abubakar, you can see, still working, trying to find space, trying to make himself available if anything comes his way. And for a player who's in the form that he's in this season, a real disappointment for him that he's not been able to test any of these defenders, as that sails miles over the top.
As I said earlier, Tim, he's a guy who thrives on balls that he can actually run onto, something to really get his teeth into.
Absolutely.
Goal and turning people or making great runs across the face, people in the box. I've seen him score 1 or 2 goals like that, but it's not really his forte. As a result, he needs this Cameroonian side. You see that their fans are pretty much flat at the moment. The Nigerian fans are just taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
seems ready for the celebrations at the end.
I was going to say, I mentioned that to you earlier on. The stadium was opened here today from 11 a.m. in the morning. So it's been pretty much a party that has been in progress since lunchtime here. Moses with his arm raised, Inacho's through centre. He's up there pretty much on his own. Here's Moses again. Inacho. And again, maybe the quality of the surface they're playing on there just maybe let him down a bit, the bobble of the ball.
Yeah, I think the players have done pretty well, considering how much the pitch is cut up from the opening minutes, really. Really test your skill level, your technique. Quite sure whether it's going to run true to you. Victor Moses was looking a little bit tired there as he tried to flick that ball back to Iheanacho.
Moses getting ready to deliver again. Tristekong is there again, making a dart towards the post. Behind him is Agu. Aiming it in there to Ndidi's head. A sudden rush of blood to the head. Would have been difficult, would have been some goal if he'd done it then, Balogun. There's Nagadri. Then easy enough for Tristekong. It was on the books of Spurs not that long ago, Tristekong, but before he could get involved with the first teams or second teams, was shipped out to Groningen. We're just playing out time a little bit here. Now Iheanacho, something to run onto. Angle's a little bit tight for him. Here's Victor Moses here. Moses thought he might have gone for that himself instead of trying to pick out Ndidi. There is all sorts of space opening up for Nigeria to attack into.
Yes, I'm sure they would love a fourth goal, but I think much more importantly, they need to be focused on a clean sheet. Not easy, of course, when you see the gaps opening up. There's one or two fresh players on the field who want to make an impact and get just a little bit carried away and lose some of your discipline.
There's Moses, crowd enjoying that moment again. Onatsi, Moses Simon is up. So too is Iheanacho. It's got to be a good delivery. Is Iheanacho makes it 4-0. Well, this really is turning into a crushing defeat here now for Cameroon. And I think since 1968, this is certainly the heaviest defeat they've ever had. Did well to steer that into the net, Iheanacho, but great ball delivered to him. Well, they can't believe their luck and good fortune. This has been so much easier than he could possibly have expected it to be.
Yes, he would have dreamed of a result like this. Be absolutely delighted, Gernaroo, that his team have been able to perform in such a fashion. Picking holes in his Cameroonian defence. The longer the game has gone on, that's a super ball from Inazi. The near post, really. Gadri probably should have. Well, it's a difficult cross to deal with. You know, you actually get a touch on that flies in past your own goalkeeper. And then actually just has to keep his eye on the ball and make it 4.
6 goals in 10 starts for Nigeria, and I told you that he liked September. This September starting as well as last year's did. And he can afford a smile is Zenwa. Well, it was 3-0 last time these two met in 2015 in that friendly. This, the heaviest defeat, certainly going back to December of 1968. And this is the 21st meeting since 1960. Cameroon had only ever won 4, and 3 of those were in Nations Cups. As Moses has been enjoying himself down there. Yeah, 10 years ago, actually 2007, Moses was the top scorer for England in the Under-17 World Cup.
You're not going to say what happened to him, are you, Tim? He's done pretty well since then, hasn't he?
He's done pretty amazingly since then, actually.
He has a real air of confidence about him when he pulls on the green shirt of Nigeria. It didn't come to him initially when he first started playing for Nigeria in the last 2 seasons, however. He believes that he's one of the real stars of the team, and he's proved it tonight that he is. Some great performances over the last couple of campaigns. It's not really a time for showboating. I know the fans want it. They love to see a few little tricks. They want to marvel at the players' ability to do those kind of things, but Cameroon players will be wounded. So 1 or 2 pretty hefty challenges may be coming their way, and remember that you have to go to Yaoundé in a couple of days' time.
Are you surprised that Manchester City let Iheanacho go? It was always going to be tough to get into the starting lineup, but did he deserve more chances than he had?
Well, I'm a great believer in Tim in that you get chances not only on match day, you get chances every single day in training, and if you're not able to show the coaching staff enough of what they require as a footballer, and it's actually pretty respectful of them when they tell you nice and early when you arrive at a football club that, look, you're not in my plans. If things change, you know, but at the moment you're not, and I've been looking to bring 1 or 2 players in. Iheanacho was probably told, I would imagine, very early on that Aguero was the main man, Gabriel Jesus, who's come in and done well, not started the season particularly well, the young Brazilian. Look, he has scored if I'm correct. So Iheanacho would have known that his chances would be limited this term. They've got lots of good wide players who can come in field and maybe occupy one or two of those advantage positions. They've bought some more players, of course. They were trying to buy Alexis Sanchez.
But don't you get more confidence from actually playing games and score? I mean, he scored, what, a dozen goals in 45, 46 games this season. But don't you actually develop when you play?
Yes, you do. But as I said, you know, it's the opportunities to shine are not only on match day, they're on training day. And Guardiola's, I think, is quite straight with footballers. Joe Hart knew as soon as he arrived that he wasn't a fancy goalkeeper. Was told that, was allowed to go out on loan to Torino last season. You know, I would think a player would rather, you know, that be the case than being told, well, maybe you're number one, you play 1 in 15 games. That shows that you're actually nowhere near being my number one choice, especially for a goalkeeper. Iheanacho's, I think, has done the right thing, taking the opportunity to go to Leicester. He should get more opportunities there. It won't be easy to play in that side either. We've got some good forwards there. Okazaki is the number 2 striker, you would imagine, to Jamie Vardy. So it'll be tough for him there, but as I said, slightly better or more opportunities.
10 minutes to go then here. And it is job done. Job very, very well done by Nigeria.
Ahmed Musa about to enter the fray. Victor Moses probably needs protecting, I feel, his last 9 minutes plus injury time.
Should be the keepers, drops it. First significant error from Zenwa, and it very nearly served up a bit of a gift, as we do get that change, and it is indeed Victor Moses who goes off. Well, like Ebi Mikel, the big names returning have more than delivered here tonight, and you can hear from the reception he's getting as he leaves the field here. It's a job very well done indeed. Huge cheers for Victor Moses, the player that they all wanted to see back in the green shirt.
He has capped off a fine performance, as indeed the other 2 stars of the team have before they departed himself. Mikel and Igalo, a goal apiece.
Well, Ahmed Musa, first Nigerian player to score more than 1 goal in a FIFA World Cup game, got 2 against Argentina.
I was at that game, was working that game. I had the privilege to watch that game. Messi actually didn't play well. He scored a wonderful goal to get Argentina the points, but he was. It's not often you say, well, almost never said it. He was second best to Musa, but surprise, surprise, who got the man of the match award?
It's through to Zema. Well, it's such a massive confidence booster for the goalkeeper here, Zema. They've had all manner of problems in the goalkeeper position. Ikeme has been suffering with acute leukemia. Those of you who don't know, the players all appeared in training a couple of days ago wearing T-shirts with Ikeme's face all over it. He is in recovery. I've have seen some pictures of him on Twitter yesterday, smiling away. But it's been a tough 45 minutes. There's Musa.
Yeah, best wishes go to Ikeme, of course.
Nice turn. Looking to get the shot in there. There's Iheanacho.
It's still a decent squad, a strong one actually, when everybody's fit for Nigeria.
Moses Seaman teeing it up. Musa's in there. But this time they get crated out. And Bazagov might be able to bring it down under control. He does. Abubakar is up there. Kanjo is coming up there as well. They've got plenty forward in the attack if they can get the ball in. And again, what a great interception by Ejijile. There's going to be another change here.
He wanted a foul, Balogun. He felt that he was impeded as he dived forward a little bit recklessly, actually, to try and win the ball inside the Cameroonian half.
So it's zone open for Bazagov.
Rice's place, hasn't he, Christian Basagog, before he was replaced, and I don't think that's anything to do with his performance, actually, just giving him a few minutes rest ahead of what will be an extremely tough task to try and reverse this scoreline on Monday evening.
And again, they've gone deep. They were causing plenty of panic in the early stages of this game with their corner kicks, which Nagajwi and Teku were attacking full on. Not been able to replicate it at all. That's going to be a corner kick. Well, they're all up there. Substituto Linga's right in the area. It was aimed towards him, it dropped right in front of him, but again it was Nagajui who was the closest to putting it in the back of the net. Well, it's surely going to take something incredible to derail the charge towards World Cup qualification now for Nigeria.
Well, after this victory, Tim, I think they can really only beat themselves. And if they were to lose in the Yaoundé in a couple of days' time, they'll still have a little bit of a lead in the group.
Well, one of the newspapers was quoted as saying that if they were to get these two victories that they craved, beginning with one here today, they'd have to play the game of their lives. And they've done pretty much that in this game here. As you said, historically, there hasn't been, in 40, 50 odd years, such a one-sided victory as this in these two nations have met. Referee's done a good job here, by the way, as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he exercises control authority over the match early on. Didn't flash any yellow cards unnecessarily. They weren't. In fact, it's been quite a clean game. And these matches actually pretty often are, despite the healthy and sometimes intense rivalry. Played in a good spirit.
Echejile.
I think the two yellows actually for both central defenders for Cameroon were justified, and in a way, Tim, they were actually the turning point, but he just gave a goal that just had a little bit more freedom, just to use his body cleverly, as I said he would, and was able to muscle the two of them, manoeuvre them out of the way for the first goal. And in truth, Nigeria has not looked back since then.
There's Agu.
So well won free kicks. He got both of the centre-halves yellow carded, and then he took the opportunity when they were weakened to open the scoring.
Ndidi.
And when we talk about the referee throughout the game, he's actually done a good job.
Nacho's in again at the near post. Good defending by Teku. Very lively since he's come on. There's Onatsi. Nobody in the penalty area, but corner is conceded. Well, last chance maybe for Cameroon here to give themselves just a shot of confidence. As it was always going to be, and it always has been this year, a struggle for goals. He knew that before they even turned up here today. And again, they're looking to try and pick at Nagajwi. additional minutes of play here. This is Olinga.
It's such a difficult game for Cameroon now, back on home soil in a few days' time.
There's no time to recover, is there? Absolutely none. It's how difficult is it going to be for them to actually exercise this from their minds?
I would say it's impossible unless they can reverse the scoreline. You know, if they beat Nigeria handsomely, 4-5-0, which is possible. It would be extremely surprising if that would be the scoreline.
Well, they've experienced real extremes of emotion over the last 6 months of Cameroon.
They now have to play with a certain level of ferocity, which they probably won't like playing at. It makes some of their play, you'd imagine, will make their play a little bit anxious. And against the good side like Nigeria, very good on the counter-attack today. I don't think particularly the way that Roy would have set out his side today, just to sit back and circle pressure, because they haven't really done that. They've just picked Cameroon off. We've not been able to match the skill and the power of Nigeria through the middle of the park. And if your big players don't play, your important players don't stand there well. Makanjo's been quiet. Bubakar's not had much service. He's not been able to get himself involved in the game. Sometimes as a striker you need to go looking for work, maybe outside your zone if you like, just to actually get a few more touches into.
And let's not forget the mood of the nation, the mood of the crowd. You know, maybe it might not be the setup that they expect it to be. Maybe people will just be now put off and think that, right, you know, it's over here. We're not going to qualify for the World Cup. 7 points is too much of a gap. Yeah, Nigeria aren't going to blow up this stage. We'll just stay away.
Yeah, that could certainly happen. Of course, you know, the players will sense that as soon as they arrive at the stadium. The press reports that they'll read over the next couple of days would not be nice when they get home.
Final few seconds then here. Time maybe for one last attack, perhaps, as Onazi. No, that is it. And the crowd rise to applaud this Nigerian team here today. Totally destroyed Cameroon, 4-0, and there's no gloss on that either. Goals from Igalo, from Obi Mikel, from Moses and Iheanacho. The big names that were absent for the recent losses against South Africa, perhaps most importantly at all, they're all back here today and they've all performed to their potential and they deserve to win.
Absolutely, there can be no complaints about the result from the Cameroonian side of things. Outplayed, outmaneuvered. In the final third, Nigeria had all the answers. Cameroon weren't able to breach the Nigeria defence. In truth, Ikechukwu Ezenwa didn't have too many difficult saves to make. And all to play for on Monday. Nigeria will firmly believe that they are in the driving seat for Russia 2018.
Coming up next, we have Viva Premiership Rugby is back on your screens. What a big game this is. Gloucester against the Exeter Chiefs. That's up next on 1HD and 4K UHD as well. We got Caribbean cricket as well on your screens tonight from 1:30 AM. The Talawas against the Amazon Warriors. Then Tranmere Rovers in action at home at Prenton Park against Dover Athletic from 5:15 on 2HD tomorrow. Fight night, Volkov against Struve. That's UFC live from 8 PM on 2HD tomorrow. And then from 9 PM, we're back on the continent of Africa for Senegal against